we welcome you back inside the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center, home of the 1999 MHSAA 4A Provincial Basketball Championships. Chuck Clement here at courtside. In case you're just joining us, the girls' final was just completed. Oak Park defeated St. Mary's Academy. Oak Park now a two-time defending provincial champion on the girls' side. And behind me right now are the player introductions that are already in progress for the boys' final. It's Tech Vox going up against Kelvin. And with more on that game, let's send it up to Sean Coates and Missy Penner. Guys?
Thank you very much, Chuck Clement. We are here live at the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. A packed house here tonight. We're just about ready to go for the tip-off in this game between the John Taylor Pipers wearing green and gold, moving from right to left on your screen, and the home team on the scoreboard, the Kelvin Clippers, wearing white with red trim. Marceline for Kelvin going up against Hucklack, or actually, correction, going against Lundgren. And Marceline, uncontested, wins and gets the ball back to Sean Coe.
Well, it almost looked like that toss was a little bit to the side of Kelvin.
We'll see if the Stripes call it that way all night long. Our referees for this evening's match, we should introduce the fine gentlemen that are doing this game. Dan Brown, Reed Kenyon, Greg Shapansky. Ball goes inside. Marceline for two. Randall Marceline, 6'7" monster.
Well, unlike the girls' game where we had number 1 and 2 ranked, here we've got number 4 Kelvin against number 7 John Taylor, and we've got an injury on the floor right now.
Jason Hucklack, number 40 for John Taylor, took a shot to the mouth. I missed it, but the officials caught it, so he's going to get looked at.
That's right. It was just before Marceline's shot. We saw him get knocked to the floor.
So quickly coming in for him is number 41, Chris Burgess, the big man. Ball on the right side. The Pipers with it in the front court. They trail it 2-0. Ball's up top to Hayward. Craig Hayward, grade 12 athlete. Gets the ball left side to Tom. That's Kyle Tom. Ball up top now, Jory Smith. This guy can shoot, folks. Keep an eye on him all night long. He had a great semi last night, Miss.
That's right. Last night he had 28 points, and quite a number of them were the three-point shot.
And if he's not doing it with the three, he's doing it with a shot like that. Very good balance in the air. Watch this guy, folks. He's a treat. Number 5, Jory Smith for the John Taylor Pipers.
Well, John Taylor beat Tech Bach last night in what was a very close, very well-played game by both teams.
Tosin Opanubi with the 3 from outside. He scored 38 in the ugly stick beating against the Dakota Lancers last night.
Well, I'll tell you, Opanubi was absolutely on fire. You mentioned it, 38 points. He got most of those when they were breaking the press and just got some easy layups, but also threw in some three-pointers.
Sean Coe with the steal.
Another player we should mention is Reynold Marceline, who had 15 block shots. You almost thought he was at a volleyball tryout last night, the way he was hitting some of those balls.
He was really swatting. It wasn't just a case of a ball would go in the air and then he'd hit it or tip it. I mean, he was spiking them back to the floor as we see the travel violation called against Tosin Opanubi. Smith now, right side. Guarded by Harrison. Eludes Harrison, shoots it from the junction. And it's the junction function. He hits the deuce. He has all 4 points here this evening.
Well, these two teams play two very different styles. You're going to see the inside game by Kelvin trying to go to Opanubi and Marceline. And then on John Taylor's side, you're going to see the outside shooting of Jory Smith, which we've already seen already, as well as John Lundgren.
Zeglin across to Coe. Sean Coe. This guy will run the offense all day. Very good ball handler. Very good volleyball player as well. We see a hold called away from the play. I believe this will go against John Lundgren. Yes, number 20, John Lundgren with the foul. That'll be his first team foul, number 1 of the half. I should mention the number 1 ranked player is playing in this game. And I don't mean Ryan Dalder, who was the number 1 ranked basketball player. I mean AJ Zeglin, the number 1 rated football player. He just inbounded the ball there. He, of course, a member of the provincial champion Kelvin Clippers team. Opanubi strong to the hole. He gets fouled. And Tosin will go to the line to shoot 2. Let's get a look at it.
Well, here we're going to see him get the ball. He's going to turn and then drive into the basket. We're going to see the foul being called.
Lundgren, his second.
So 2 very quick fouls against John Lundgren, a player that John Taylor cannot afford to lose.
Talk about another guy who had a great semifinal. John Lundgren, when they were... Tech Bach was applying pressure to Jory Smith last night. Lundgren picked up the slack. really got things done for the Pipers, so it'll be bad news for him if he remains in foul trouble throughout this game. Opanubi hits the second, extends the lead to 2. It's 6-4 Kelvin, and back come the Pipers.
That's right, last night Lundgren responded with 17 points, as well as Gooch coming off the bench and getting 17 points for John Taylor.
Doug Gooch, and there's a swat by Marceline who knocks it out of bounds.
Well, and he starts off with an easy swat. Trust me, people, that was a nice one.
Folks, he'll hit some that'll look like he's smacking it inside the attack line of a volleyball court.
That's right, I think last night Dakota saw more of his hand than they did the basket.
Shot from the outside by Smith doesn't go. Ball off the hands of Lundgren and out of bounds. It'll go over to the Clippers. We've played just over 3 minutes here in this 4A Provincial High School Boys Championship. The Clippers lead at 6-4. A.J. Zeglin with the rack. Kicks it to Daniel Harrison. Coe thinks about the 3. He'll take it. Shot doesn't go, and the foul will be called against A.J. Zeglin for being over the back of John Lundgren.
Sometimes you'll see a very quick call by the officials there. It looked like he was just going to play. The ball came off of him right away. Here we're going to see the replay. Right here we're going to see both players. Just a little too much contact there. Good call.
Fouls 2-1 right now in John Taylor's favor. Not that you want to have that in your favor. Ball left side. Casey Gooch, Doug Gooch in the ball game for the Pipers. Ball gets skipped back and out of play. It'll go over to the Clippers. Zeglin to do the honors. AJ's dad, a teacher at Kelvin, is one of the people responsible for putting in such a great effort during the flood of '97. We have a block called away from the play. It's an illegal screen, I believe. And it will go against Reynold Marceline. That'll be his first. Team foul number 2 of the half.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see how John Taylor is going to defend against Marceline and Opanubi. One thing that we saw Port Arthur do was double and triple team Marceline and got him into some foul trouble. So he came up with a very quick first foul.
That, of course, is the finals of the WIT, which we brought to you here on Shaw as well. The Port Arthur Redmen. We'll see how they do in the Ontario Championships. A very fine team as well. Shot from the outside is long. Marceline saves it on the end line, gives it to Harrison, who gives it up to Coe. Sean Coe, grade 11 athlete. Played volleyball, was a standout in that sport. His brother, a good football player, plays for the University of Manitoba. And that's Scott Coe we're talking about. We can't mention the Coes without mentioning the mother and father, who are just some of the biggest fans in Winnipeg sports history. Right now we start back the other way. Lundgren advances at Smith, right side, guarded by Harrison. Harrison reaches, doesn't get it. Smith, he'll set things up. Does he use the screen available to him? No, he goes one-on-one, goes by Harrison, up strong, 4-footer, does go. Marceline grabs the boards in traffic.
Well, Jerry Smith almost came down with his own rebound there. He got a second swat at the ball, but Marceline came down with that final rebound.
Ball's lobbed down low, Opanubi up strong, off the square and down. That's almost automatic for Tosin.
That's something we saw a lot last night, him breaking the press and going in for the easy layup.
He had 27 points at the half last night. It was almost unheard of in the Provincial Championship. As we see the Gooch getting it done the other way, Casey Gooch with the deuce.
Well, Casey Gooch was a player that came off the bench yesterday and got 17 points for John Taylor.
Coe settles things down, gives it to Zeglin, left side. Marceline in the high block, gets it, turnaround, Jay drops from 12. Leads up to 4, it's 10-6. We've played about half of the first quarter here. Clippers with the lead.
On the Kelvin side, we've got 2 players that were ranked in the top 10. Tosin Opanubi, ranked number 2 player in the province, and Reynold Marceline, number 5. On the other side, John Lundgren was ranked number 8.
David Burgess called on the offensive foul. David's a very big man, as you can see. I believe it's the David Burgess that plays hockey in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. And certainly very well built, strong player. He's one of the few players I've seen at the high school level to use the pro move of getting the ball in the low blocks and leaning back to create space. You don't see that a lot in high school, and David's already mastered that at this level.
Well, with his size, I'm sure he's quite effective at it.
He flattens people. Ball gets worked around. Sean Coe left side, looking for some help. picks up his dribble, gets it into Marceline, left base, up top Openubi, 3-point territory. It's worked around. Clippers doing some rotation on offense. Piper sagging back, double team on Marceline, kicked up top, Zeglin drives, up strong, through the trees, doesn't drop for him. Tough play for AJ, as he certainly made a great move to get the position. He just couldn't finish.
That was a good move. John Taylor doing a really good job of covering Marceline. You can see them double team. They've got a person fronting them and a person on the back, so they're denying that pass and they're ready to cover up and help.
Smith to Bresden. Bresden's shot doesn't go. Tap back follows for Burgess. Leeds cuts it 2. Coe up the floor for the Clippers. They lead at 10-8. We've got 3:05 to go here in the first quarter of this Provincial 4A basketball championship. Sean Coates, Missy Penner, and Chuck Clement bringing all this action. We have a 20-second timeout call by Kelvin on the floor. We're going to try and listen in.
Reynolds, Towson, all right? Hey, their guards aren't showing us anything right now. It's all their post guys, so we gotta help down. Let's force them to do something. Let's force those guys to beat us.
Dribble, penetrate, middle,
yes.
and then kick it.
Attack the middle,
Shoot
penetrate and
up. They'll
finish.
give you the shot.
Let's go.
Okay?
3, 2, 1, pipe.
Shoot the ball.
Bang the drums loudly in the house here. The University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. We heard some of the comments from Coach Chris Chartier of the John Taylor Pipers, former Winnipeg Westman athlete and a guy I got to know very well when I was coaching volleyball at the university, and a very good guy. He took over for Alan Friesen, who left to go to BC. This team's amazing. They lose the coach, their star player who was the son, Alan Friesen, and another guard, and guess what? They're right back in the provincial final again.
That's right, an outstanding job. Chris Chartier doing a very good job with John Taylor. And I'd like to mention that his wife, Christy Morose, a former student at Garden City Collegiate who I had the pleasure of teaching. Or at least she put up with me in class.
Now the truth comes out. So hello to Christy, and congratulations to Chris for having such a great year with the Pipers. As we see Smith dish it back to the Gooch. Pushes it across. Shot underneath, it falls. Basket there for number 14, Kyle Tom. Cuts the lead back to 2. It's 12-10. Openubi wide open and gets fouled by Hucklack. And Hucklack says, "Not in my house," and he wants a sub out again. It seems like he's either very tired or still hurting from that earlier contact. Missy.
I think that time he might have taken a little bit of a Charlie horse.
So he'll stay down, and he'll come out of the game in just a moment. As Openubi misses the first. Burgess goes back in. So we'll hope that Jason is okay here and can come back to play. We've got 2:10 remaining in the first. 12-10 is our score in favor of Kelvin, and Tosin Openubi at the line hits the second. Clippers look like they're going to drop back into a 2-3 zone. They do. Casey Gooch with the ball, fires to the left side. Smith pushes it to Gooch. Gooch working his way against Coe. Coe slaps it, it goes out of bounds. 1:52. And they haven't stopped the clock here, Missy. Now they do. Let a couple seconds run here.
Well, you had mentioned Kelvin in a 2-3 zone and playing very tight. They're ready to come out because John Taylor is known for their outside shooting.
Bresden with the ball, gives it to Smith. Penetrates, dishes. Gooch brings it up top. Half spin on Zeglin, kicks it out. Ball's reversed back to Bresden. Inside the three-point line, takes a shot. Ball's rebounded by Coe. It's on the deck. Coe hustles after it. Great job done by Sean Coe. That's a quality example of the fine, hard-working effort you get from him every night.
Well, and that's fully what you would expect to see in a provincial final, is that type of effort.
Guys fighting for every loose ball. It's certainly what this is all about. Zeglin, left side. Gets it into Marceline. Marceline just inside the three-point line. He takes it, and the big man strokes the deuce. 5-point lead, just under a minute to go now in the first. Pipers with the ball. The Gooch works off the screen. Kicks it to Smith. Bresden. Inside Burgess comes up with it. Up top, Bresden works around Smith for three. Off the front of the rim, ball's rebounded by Coe. He protects it and comes up the court. There's 32 seconds remaining in the quarter. Kelvin will play for one. Jaime Fox telling his team to hold onto the ball and play for one here. It's worked around to Coe. Coe has 20 seconds and counting now. Has to wait for someone to play him. 15 seconds. They'll probably go with about 10 or 8 seconds left here. There's 10. Marceline looks at the clock. Back up top to Zeglin. 6 seconds. They've got to get something going now. Zeglin drives in, puts up the baby shot. Doesn't go. Out of bounds. Just under a second to go here, Missy. I don't know if the Pipers will have enough time to get one off here.
Well, it's certainly going to be a difficult shot. He's got to jack this one up right away.
Throw the length of the court came close. Our score after 1 quarter of play. The Kelvin Clippers 15. The John Taylor Pipers 10. We'll take a short break. We come back. We'll have second quarter action here on Shaw. Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear. Welcome back to the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. Sean Coates, Missy Penner here, and Chuck Clement somewhere on the floor looking for interviews and working hard as he always does. 15-10 the score for Kelvin. Your thoughts on the first quarter so far, Missy?
Well, I think Kelvin's doing a really good job getting the ball inside, which is fully what we expected. John Taylor playing very good defense as well, and also getting some nice shots on the outside. So only a 5-point difference, still anyone's game. Too early to tell at this point.
It is too early to tell. We really, unlike the girls' game where Oak Park established early in the first and St. Mary's replied, no team's really established here. They're both just playing some solid basketball and still feeling each other out a little bit. So we'll see which team asserts itself here in the second quarter. Casey Gooch, the Gooch, gets the ball inside. Burgess up strong against Marceline. Shot doesn't go. Oh, Opanubi with the rebound.
Well, and that's where Kelvin's doing a really good job with Opanubi and Marceline inside hauling down those rebounds.
Lob pass to Sean Coe. Alley-oop and the follow by Marceline.
Well, Marceline came out of nowhere just to tap that one in.
Chris Chartier has a good beef here. He wanted the offensive goaltending call made, and I'm not sure if that ball came completely out of the cylinder, so I think Chris has something to be concerned about there.
There's no question. It looked like it was still hanging on the rim there.
An exciting play nonetheless as the ball gets stripped. Zeglin off to the races now. Working one-on-one against Gooch. Stops, delays, goes in, doesn't hit it. Casey Gooch with a rebound.
Well, that was a nice move by A.J. Zeglin to get into the open and get a lane to the basket. Unfortunately, did not drop in for him.
Ball's bounced into Burgess, slapped out a play by Marceline. Pipers will hang on to it here. We played just over a minute in the second quarter. 7-point lead here for the Clippers. Jory Smith, him down on the baseline. Grade 12 athlete with a ton of skills. Gets the ball into Lundgren. Lundgren back in. He's playing with 2 fouls. Looks for help, gets it from Gooch. Gooch drives in. Oh, big contact.
And the block is going to be called against number 5, Sean Coe. We're seeing also Kelvin back in a man-to-man defense. Here we get an opportunity to see that replay. After the foul, we also saw Marceline with another block.
It won't count on his stats, but he'll make a mental note of it. 7-point lead. Casey Gooch at the line. As you mentioned, that was Coe's first foul. As the Gooch misses the first. Team foul number 3 of the half against Kelvin. And the Gooch hits the second. Ball goes into Coe. We're seeing some full court pressure now from the Pipers. So after the score, they come with a full court pressure. Ball's advanced down the floor to Sean Kirby Pelican. Kirby Pelican drives in. Offensive foul called as Bresden was set.
I think that was a very good call. You could see him lean in with the elbow. I also think John Taylor putting on the press, very gutsy move on their point. We saw Dakota do that last night. With good intentions, they put on the press because they felt that Kelvin wouldn't be able to get the outside shots, but I'll tell you, it ended up being a lot of steals, and Opanubi ended up getting a lot of layups, and that's where he got a majority of his 38 points.
We have an update in the World Curling Tour event taking place next door at the Max Bell Center. Wayne Madaw leading it 7-3 over Jeff Stoughton after 5 ends. And we'd like to thank our good friend Kenny Berthelette for providing us with that news update. So 7-3, Madaw leads it over Stoughton. That, of course, taking place next door at the Max Bell Center. Right here, we've got the Provincial Basketball Championship. Opanubi underneath, doesn't hit it, gets the rebound. Back to Kirby Pelican. Ball inside Marceline, just outside the free throw line off the back of the rim, doesn't go. Sean Kirby Pelican with another board. Gives it to Coe. Coe engineering the offense inside Marceline at the junction. Kicks it out. Zeglin thought about the three, goes back to Coe. As you get a look at AJ, now Sean Coe with the ball.
This is where John Taylor has to be ready to box out and haul down some of these rebounds and not give Kelvin this many opportunities at getting a basket.
Clippers very patient on offense to the point of maybe being a little frustrated with that pass. Marceline almost committing the turnover. But the Piper's doing a good job of preventing Opanubi from getting the ball in the block. So he comes out and he strokes the tray.
Opanubi can do it all. We saw him last night again getting a lot of layups and drives, just breaking that press, but also the ability to shoot from the outside.
Ball stolen by Sean Coe as he picked the pocket of the Gooch. Back come the Clippers. Opanubi lobs it down low. Marceline one-on-one, puts up the shot. Doesn't go. Opanubi fought for the board. It goes out of bounds off the hands of Lundgren. 20-11. Clippers lead it. Substitution coming back into play. Kyle Tom. He'll replace Casey Gooch. Zeglin inbound on the baseline. Clippers run a stack, they break. Ball's lobbed in, Marceline flips it up top to Coe. Opanubi, auto three, doesn't go. Dresden advances the ball down the floor to Lundgren. Lundgren pulls up just inside the three-point line. Doesn't go for him. Tom with the rebound. Back out. Smith for the three. In and out. Rooms of doom here at the U of M. And we have a foul against John Taylor. We'll see who it's called against.
I believe Chris Burgess is getting called for his second foul.
Here we'll see the 6'5" athlete coming on there. You see the contact made with Marceline. So indeed it is his second foul. Team foul number 5 of the half. So Burgess takes a seat. And coming back in is number 40, Jason Pucklack. We'll see if he's okay. Sean Kirby Pelican down the floor. Up top, Zeglin hands it off to Coe. Coe scans the floor. Clippers run a cutter through, and up top, that's Zeglin. Coe gives it to Zeglin. Right back to Coe. Piper's fronting Opanubi, preventing him from getting any look at the ball. Kirby Pelican fakes three, gives to Zeglin. Lob down low, Marceline, big sky, up off the glass and down.
Well, nice move. He faked inside and went to the outside. So good rotation, good movement.
22-11 Clippers. 22nd timeout called by the John Taylor Pipers. We've got 5:46 to go. Our score, the Kelvin Clippers 22, the John Taylor Pipers 11.
It's only 20 on it. Let's relax there. Okay, guys, lots of patience. Coe, don't get stuck. Sean, Coe, don't get sucked in on that shot. If you're not going to shoot it in rhythm, don't shoot it. Doesn't matter. We can piss around up top forever, right? We can fool around up there, okay? Swing the ball. Let's get Kirby the ball on the other side. Kirby spot up and it's there. Fire it. Get a good high-low. Ram, don't shoot baseline jump shots fading away. I don't mind if you square up and take it. Like here, you're squared up. It's fine. It's fine. Both guys. They have no guys in there that can play right now. 40 will butcher them. Okay? And the other kid's too small. Patience. Go. 3, 2, 1. Cover.
Yes, these are members of my family. Parents, don't let your children grow up to be like that. You know? He wears that helmet for his own protection, folks. He really does. Some of the crazies in the house here, those fans supporting Kelvin. There's also some fans here for John Taylor's. Jory Smith goes 3-ball right through the center of the hole.
Well, there's nothing but net on that shot.
As you may have heard, public address announcer Trevor Greer say in the background there, he's got 7 points already. Sean Kirby-Pelican gets it to Openubi, right side. Marceline, big front. And he gets fouled there by Jason Hucklack. You could just see the reach around by Hucklack. Not sure if we'll get another look at it, but I believe this will be his second. So a couple of the Pipers in foul trouble here. Burgess, Hucklack, and Lundgren each with 2. 5:10 to go here in the second quarter as we get a look. There you'll see the reach coming right around there. That middle hand was not Marceline's. It was one of his 3 hands, actually.
Well, mind you, the way he plays, sometimes you think he does have 3 hands.
3 hands and 2 brains, because he's just an amazing player. Smith to Hucklack. Back to Smith. Openubi with that last basket for Kelvin. Smith can't hit it here. Bresden from behind with the foul. And that will be his first, team foul number 7, I believe. And if that's the case, we may be in bonus already here. With 4:49 to go in the half, 24-14 for Kelvin.
Yeah, we should be in the bonus situation. At the line right now is Sean Kirby-Pelican.
Sean hits the first. One of the best names in sports, of course, being Sean, just like his teammate Sean Coe.
Yeah, it's just unusual that he's on the floor.
Thanks. Actually, I have to admit Sean Coe has my favorite name in all of sports because it's so close to mine. And despite that, he's a good player. Lundgren with the ball. Takes up his dribble, hands it off to Dresden. Or Bresden, I should say. Steve Bresden. Right side, bounce pass down low. With it is Kyle Tom. Back to Bresden. 6'3", grade 11. Solid athlete here for the Pipers. Smith drives in, pulls up from 14 and strokes it. Misty, that's the last thing the Clippers want to see, but it's the first thing the Pipers want to see is Smith lighting on fire.
Well, we saw it last night, we're seeing it again tonight, and that's Jory Smith just being able to hit the shot from anywhere on the floor. One thing I really like about him as a player is he really hustles. Last night in the game, there was one play where he was knocked pretty much down on defense here, and then he hustled all the way back to the end of the floor instead of just sort of dogging it. Like sometimes you see players sort of give up. He ran back and prevented a basket by stealing the ball away from the Tech Bach player.
It's amazing to see that. It really shows the determination of some athletes. As we see the offensive foul being called against Tosin Openubi. That'll be his first. Team foul number 5 against Kelvin. 9-point lead for the Clippers over the Pipers.
Still a very close game. One thing we saw Kelvin do last night against Dakota was they played a triangle in 2, and that's where they had the 2 players playing man-to-man against Dalder and Lodowicz.
And that really killed Dakota because they had to take it in amongst the trees because they weren't hitting it from the outside, and when they took it inside, they got swatted big time. And a very, very smart move on the part of Coach Jaime Fox. He actually outfoxed his opponent that night, and it was really hats off. I haven't seen the triangle in 2 years, and he did a great job with it. As we see Lundgren go up strong, the ball gets blocked out of bounds.
Well, I know my husband recalls back when he played for Vincent Massey and Brandon, when they played against Kelvin, they did the same defense against his team.
They just discovered fire that year, did they not? Smith from the outside, in and out, doesn't go. Marceline with the board, gives it to Zeglin. Sean Coe with the ball, 3:18 to go here in the quarter. 25-16 the score. Zeglin to Marceline, squares up and hits it. Reynold Marceline with yet another basket. He's got 10 points now, 12 points actually now, Missy.
Well, and Huckluck looking a little frustrated there. Not much he can do on defense. He's outsized.
Ball goes to Lundgren, working against Openubi, bounces it back. Hucklack. Back to Lundgren. Lundgren goes by Harrison. Stays up top. Works off the screen. Set by Hucklack. Picks up his dribble. Gives it to Tom. Tom inside. Hucklack, the lefty from the free throw line. Doesn't go. Smith with the save. Smith weaving into the paint. Kicks it back out to the Gooch for three. Doesn't go. He's fouled by Harrison, which means the Gooch will go to the line to shoot three.
That's right, when you get fouled on the three-point shot attempt, you get to go to the line for three.
Casey Gooch at the line. Shoots the first of his three, misses it. 27-16, the Clippers lead it. And free throws are very important to be certainly helpful to the Pipers' cause if they can get a couple of them here as Chris Burgess reports back to play. He'll replace Jason Hucklack. Hucklack still seems to be shaking off what appears to be an injury. He's limping off the court there, so we hope he's okay. Third shot is missed. So the Gooch goes 1 for 3 from the line. And back comes Sean Coe, 2:19 on the clock. 10-point lead for the Clippers. Ball goes into Harrison, to Coe, to Zeglin. Coe steps in, picks up his dribble, needs some help, finds Opanubi. Opanubi back to Coe. Up top, Harrison fakes the three, gives it to Coe. Thought about the three, goes inside Opanubi. Up, strong in and out. Ball's rebounded by Kyle Thomas. We had a look from our net cam. One of two we've got in the house here this evening.
That's a good rebound by Kyle Tom.
Lundgren, left side, working against Opanubi. Lundgren drives the paint, jump step, kicks it out to Burgess. Burgess up tough. Oh, looking for the jam, I believe. And Marceline says, not in my house, brother. Stay out.
I think everyone in the house looking for that to be called just all ball. But a little contact with the body was made.
Marceline's second. And one of the few things that John Taylor might be able to do to get Reynolds out of the game is to take it to him a bit more and hopefully draw those fouls.
Well, that would certainly work, and it would take Marceline out of his game. He'd have to play a little more conservative on defense then as well.
Burgess hit the first. Misses the second. Zeglin battles for it. Coe comes up with it. Shortest guy in the court comes up with a rebound.
And did a good job of protecting the ball when he got it.
Zeglin on the right side, gets it to Harrison, works it around to Coe. To Zeglin. Zeglin, wide open three. It's short. Opanubi, now Coe with a rebound. Coe goes up. Opanubi takes it from him. Off the square and down. He's fouled by Kyle Tom. He'll go to the line to complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
Well, and here we get a chance to see that ball going into Opanubi right there. Plays it off the backboard, and the foul was committed, so he's going to get a chance to finish off this three-point play. One thing Kelvin has done very well is get the ball inside. It's been Marceline and Opanubi, which is fully what we expected to see in tonight's game.
Kyle Williams, number 23 in the ball game now for Kelvin. He'll replace Marceline. Opanubi strokes it. 30-18, Clippers by 12. 1:08 to go here in the first half. Don't forget, we will have Pat Bagheera from the Milk Marketing Board joining us at halftime to talk about the great Got Milk, Get Gear promotion. Smith, spin around shot, doesn't go. Ball's rebounded by Zeglin, gives it to Coe. Less than a minute to go now here in the first half.
Joey Smith putting on a little bit of pressure all by himself. Again, we sort of got cut off a little bit when we were talking about the press that Dakota put on last night. Again, they did that with good intentions, but the guards of Kelvin really did a good job of passing their way through, and they got a lot of fast break plays, which went to Opanubi.
Just like in the first quarter, Kelvin plays for one in the dying moments here of the second quarter. Opanubi between the legs dribble, kicks it across. Coe, fake the three, goes back to Harrison. 14 seconds remaining. Zeglin, Williams, sorry, Opanubi. Opanubi drives in, kicks it to Zeglin. 3 seconds on the clock, goes up, doesn't go. Ball's batted around out of bounds. That'll run out the clock. Our score at the half, the Kelvin Clippers 30, the John Taylor Pipers 18. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Pat Baguerre from the Manitoba Milton Marketing Board, and Chuck Clement will have interviews down at courtside. You're watching the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships here live on Shaw.
Cable in the classroom, tears down walls, opens minds. Provided as an educational service to schools by participating Canadian cable companies.
Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear. Welcome back to Shaw's coverage of the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships. Kelvin leads at 30-18 over John Taylor at halftime. And as promised, Pat Baguerre from the Manitoba Milton Marketing Board joins me, and we'd like to talk about your sponsorship of this tournament and of high school sports. Let's start with that. Why is Milk involved with the high schools?
Well, we're very pleased to be a part of Manitoba High School Athletics Association. We strongly believe that Milk and Sport is a very good fit, and we're really pleased to see the dedication that all of the young athletes have throughout the season, not only at the game today, but certainly throughout the entire season. So we're committed to the spirit of excellence, the same spirit of excellence that certainly the athletes are displaying throughout the entire season.
Okay, and we have some young athletes on the floor from the Winnipeg Minor basketball system doing a game here at halftime, and they're going to entertain the crowd. Let's talk about this great promotion you've got going on right now, this Got Milk, Get Gear promotion. It seems like a really good idea you've got going.
Well, we're really pleased to announce that our new spring promotion is called Got Milk, Get Gear. It's really easy to participate. All you need to do is look for your catalog at participating grocery stores all throughout the province of Manitoba, and it's really easy. It goes all the way up until the beginning of June, and it's all you need to do is collect milk points by saving your proof of purchase, and you can see that there's a variety of gear that you can enter to claim once you've got the appropriate number of points. You can also get bonus points through a number of other opportunities as outlined in the brochure, so it's really easy to participate, and we're sporting some of the Got Milk gear that you can get, and we're also giving some away to the spectators at the game today.
So we're wearing shirts. You've got some things like...
We have hooded sweatshirts. We also have acrylic glasses, CD holders, a sports pack, so all kinds of great things that you can try to obtain. Including
frisbees that some of your people are throwing out here today.
Absolutely, which seem to be quite popular with the crowd. So
it certainly is. Let's talk a bit more about this, how it fits in with youth and lifestyles today.
Well, absolutely. Physical activity is a really important component of our daily lives, and certainly it's great. It's inspiring to see all these young athletes out on the floor right now, because physical activity is so important all throughout our life cycle, and we're hoping that through our partnership that we will inspire them to certainly continue their physical activity throughout their elementary years, as well as into junior high and senior high, and well into into their adult life as well. So trying to foster that healthy eating and physical activity as a hand-in-hand combination.
It's certainly a lifelong partnership, Milk, with athletics and with health. And we thank you for sponsoring high school athletics and being involved with the championships here. And good luck with this promotion. It sounds like you've got a winner.
Thanks. We're certainly pleased to be here again, Sean.
Okay, Pat Beguer from the Manitoba Milk Marketing Board joining us here at halftime talking about her great promotion. And we're going to talk with another person that's involved with her, and that is Kerry Lasuk from the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association. He's with Chuck down the courtside. Chuck?
Thank you very much, Sean. I am joined right now by Kerry Lasuk, who's the Assistant Executive Director of the Manitoba High Schools Athletic Association, one of the key players here this weekend, of course. And Kerry, to second what we were talking about with the sponsorship and the great support with Manitoba Milk, the sponsors certainly make championships like this possible.
Yeah, we are very fortunate to have people like the Manitoba Milk producers who've been a strong supporter of high schools in general and especially basketball. They've been with us for many, many years now, over a decade. And that's a lot of things that they provide for us are financial support, plus some of the prizes and awards, and make sure that some of our costs are offset. So yeah, it's very important that we have sponsors like the Manitoba Milk producers, and we're very grateful to them.
Once you've got your sponsors, you also need some dedicated volunteers who put in the hours to help put this all in motion.
Yeah, we have so many championships on this week, and that without our volunteers, that these things just simply don't happen. And there's people like Brad Purple from Danny Mac always brings a good crowd to do a lot of things. Randy Cassano and Darren Klapik from Oak Park always bring a lot of kids. Greg Saunders took on a lot of jobs. He's the one in charge of this halftime show that we're joining behind us. And there's just so many people to thank. Can't even name them all. But yeah, tremendous work by a lot of them are high school kids, and they're supervised by the teacher. They do a great job, and they make things so much easier.
One thing we should underline is the provincial championships aren't just for one weekend, and they aren't just only here at the U of M. They take place at different levels throughout the entire province.
Yeah, it's a really busy weekend for us. Like Morris and I have been traveling to all over Manitoba to the AAA, 3A, and 4A championships. We're all happening at this moment, actually. Most of the championships are wrapping up right now. Last week, when we also had the 4A regional playdowns, we had the 2 provincial hockey championships, one in Minnedosa, one in Winnipeg here, and the weekend prior to that we had the provincial curling championships in Morris. So the NCAA have their own March Madness, and Manitoba High Schools, we have our own March Madness also.
Our move from the Duckworth Center certainly looks like it's been a successful one. This building has been excellent, hasn't it?
Yeah, people are a little bit reserved because it is so big. Can you have the atmosphere here? And we've proven that you can. Each side holds about 1,500 people, and that's a lot of fans in this place, and we have at least that, so we're very happy with it. And we were really scared of such a big facility because you come to a lot of games here and there's a few people, but the atmosphere has been just unreal in this place. A lot of noise and a lot of fan support and a lot of spirit.
You want to talk about great atmosphere. A lot of it has to do with this advent in high school sports, and we're seeing a great interest in it. We're seeing the schools come out and encourage their classmates. Why do you think that is, that we're seeing a focus away from the community-based sporting activities and more towards the high school sports?
I think it's really simple, actually, because at school, that's where you develop a lot of friendships. You spend 7 hours a day there, 5 days a week. You play with your sports teams, you develop spirit, you develop a belongingness and an ownership to the school. So when these teams come to watch their teammates play, it's not because they're watching their friends, they're watching a piece of their school, and that belongingness and that spirit really comes through. And especially with the schools we got in Manitoba, it's not a huge province, so they're very supportive of their own schools. They take a lot of pride in it, and that's really important, and not just sports, but in everything itself. So I think it's really important in the education of these athletes to be learning the belongingness of their school and taking pride in things like that.
Well said, Kerry. Congratulations on another wonderful event. I know you had hockey last weekend. You've got basketball this week, and of course you've got badminton, track, and curling, and all the others that are coming up. Congratulations, and thank you, of course, on behalf of all Manitobans for all the great work that you guys do.
My pleasure.
Kerry Lasuk, the Assistant Executive Director from the MHSAA. We are back with second half action between Kelvin and Tech Vaughan right after this break.
Pan American Games, Winnipeg 99, where the Americas come to play.
Welcome back to the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletics Center. 30-18 is the score for the Kelvin Clippers over the John Taylor Pipers at halftime. Still just a few more minutes of this Winnipeg Minor Basketball League game going on. But Missy's Clippers very effective, scoring 15 points in both quarters to take this 12-point lead. And certainly they've done a good job with Marceline and Openubi. Openubi was 17, Marceline, I believe, with 14. Combining for 31 of the points, and they've just done a solid job against John Taylor this far.
Well, we knew they had a strong inside game, and that's with Openubi and Marceline. If I was John Taylor, what I'd be trying to do is try and get the ball inside, take the defense with you, and then kick the ball out to someone like Jory Smith, who's really hot from the outside, and he's capable of shooting the threes. So that would certainly help John Taylor.
So as these two fine young teams are really delighted, the crowd, you can hear the screams in the background. These kids are going between the legs, behind the back, and look away passes.
Some of them handle the ball better than a lot of high school players.
I won't mention anything about the university guys who can't compete with these kids, but they're just leaving the court. The Clippers and the Pipers returning back to the floor here. They're going to get a few minutes to warm up and get things back on track. And I believe we're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, we will have third quarter action for you here on Shaw. Our score, the Kelvin Clippers 30, the John Taylor Pipers 18. You're watching the Provincial 4A High School Boys Basketball Championship live here on Shaw.
Crime Stoppers. Manitoba Crime Stoppers and the Winkler Police Service would like your assistance in solving the theft of a wallet and a subsequent fraudulent use of an ATM card. On Saturday, August 22nd, 1998, a resident of Winkler made a call from the payphone at the Penner Foods entrance in the Southland Mall in Winkler. After using a calling card, her wallet was left at the payphone. On Monday, after checking at the mall, the victim began canceling credit cards and the ATM card, which had by then been used at numerous locations in Winnipeg with debits adding up to $2,600. Videotapes of the suspect using the card were obtained from 2 different credit unions in Winnipeg. If you have information on this or any other unsolved crime in Manitoba, call Manitoba Crime Stoppers toll-free at 1-800-782-8477.
Welcome back to Shaw's coverage of the Provincial 4A High School Boys Basketball Championships, a couple minutes away from third quarter action. This is what it's all about. No, not a gorgeous beauty shot by Ken Cantemir, but this hardware, Missy, this is the trophy that these two schools are playing for.
That's all? Just kidding.
Oh, aren't you spoiled? Okay. What, you want your shoe contract as well with that, or what? Okay.
Yes, that is exactly what they're playing for. That trophy, the banner that hangs in the school.
The medals, the Eastern TV audience deal, the shoe contract. They're playing for
well,
all.
and just the opportunity to say that you are the 1999 provincial champions.
I've been saying it for many years. I never won one. I've just been saying it for many years.
Yeah, but anything you say, no one believes anyhow, so.
There you go. But something that we will believe is the fact that your team won a provincial title in volleyball a couple of years ago. What's that like, being a member of a provincial champion, even as a coach?
You know, it's absolutely outstanding, and it really makes all the hard work pay off. Sometimes it seems like it's not reachable, but when you've got a group of athletes that work very hard and they really gel together and they're really committed towards that goal, it's a fantastic feeling, and what a way to end off a season. I mean, it's just, you can't describe it. It's the best thing that I think a high school student can experience, is saying that they are a provincial champion, because a ton of hours and a ton of work goes into it, and it's such a fulfilling feeling.
And I'm sure my professors at university will hate me saying this, but probably the most exciting moment of my university career was being on part of a basketball champion, and to win that is something you'll never forget. They can never take it away from you. Just the pride of everything you mentioned, hard work and all the long hours when you think it isn't really all coming together, and it isn't worthwhile, no one notices, all of a sudden it pays off, and
well, those memories do definitely last a lifetime.
Beats the C+ I got in political theory in my third year.
Well, that was your highest mark, so you should remember that one.
Thank you. Thank you. Winnie the Moo, the cow.
Well, and that is the mascot, I believe, a number of years ago when you were unable to attend the provincial championships that we said was actually you inside there.
Well, I don't want to admit anything, but hey, it was a better paying gig I went for. Actually, people have been calling me a cow for years. As we get a look at Reed Kenyon, one of our 3 officials this evening, a very good official, does pro games in the International Basketball Association, so they brought out one of the best here to do this game. We've started third quarter action. Kelvin with the ball. Zeglin to Coe. Up top, Harrison. Back to Coe.
Well, if John Taylor can start denying the pass inside to Openubi or Marceline, it's going to force the Clippers to take some outside shots, and something that they haven't done so far.
Zeglin with the ball now to Harrison, over to Coe. Coe brings it out up top. Very patient on offense. The Clippers here, they've already used up 35 seconds. And they'll use up more if they have to, just to get the right opportunity. Piper's in a bit of a 3-2 front here. Of course, they'll drop back into a 2-3 if the ball goes down low. Coe with it. Guarded by Smith, picks up his dribble, bounces it ahead to Marceline. Marceline, 1-on-3, goes up strong, misses the shot. It's rebounded by the Pipers. Number 3, Devin Fraser, is now in the ball game.
It looked like that ball went just a little off his hand before that shot.
Casey Gooch, the Gooch, with the ball, gives it to Fraser, works his way in, kicks it out to Lundgren. Lundgren drives the paint, gets blocked by Marceline, and they're going to call the foul against him. And I believe that will be Marceline's third. He had 12 points in the first half. His partner, Tosin Openubi, had 17. You take a look at the dynamic duo for Kelvin there. Reed Kenyon not included.
I think Marceline is just sort of asking for the officials' opinion on that last call. He's thinking that he got all ball and swatted that ball just, without any contact on the body.
Nothing but net for John Lundgren on the first attempt. Trying to cut the lead to 10 here. And he does. 2 for 2. Lundgren goes from the line. Zeglin to inbound. Gets it to Harrison. Seeing a bit of a full court press here by the Pipers. We'll see how effective the Clippers can break it. If it's anything like last night in the semi against Dakota, they should have no problem.
That's right. They did a really good job breaking that press, and the guards doing a good job of passing their way out and getting the ball to Openubi, which resulted in a lot of very fast break layups.
Lundgren back the other way after the Pipers got the board. Kelvin still hasn't scored here in the half. Drive inside by Fraser, goes up, doesn't fall. Marceline with the board, eventually taken by Coe. Sean Coe up the floor. Working against Smith. Gets it to Harrison, ball's lobbed down. Openubi up strong, it falls for him. Clippers get their first basket of the quarter. 32-20, they're back up by 12.
Openubi now at 19 points in the game.
Left side, Lundgren working against Openubi. Back to Fraser. 2 number 3s, Fraser and Harrison. Ball's bounced inside to Burgess. Back out, Fraser. Lundgren drives in, hits it from the free throw line and down.
Well, Openubi was on him, but he came off on defense, and that was enough to give Lundgren an open shot.
The Gooch with the steal. Shot doesn't go. Openubi with the board. Thought about the long pass. Gave it to Coe instead. No one's on him. Coe coming down the floor on the early game, sets up the half court. Coe looks over at Coach Jaime Fox, gets some instructions. Kicks it across to Zeglin, and there's a foul on Openubi far away from the ball. And I believe this will be Tosin's second. Actually, double foul. Openubi, and I believe Lundgren.
That's right. That would be Lundgren's third.
Yes, Lundgren's third and Openubi's second. So we have 2 fouls against Kelvin and 1 against John Taylor for the half. So both players getting into it away from the ball there. The Gooch on the drive. Oh, Marceline with a major league rejection.
Well, I'll tell you, he is always aware of where the ball is and what players are doing, and he comes over to help, and he's just outstanding on defense.
Fraser to Smith. Can't block it when he shoots it from 3. Smith misses it. Lundgren on the boards, goes inside, kicks it out. Smith, he'll drive in, looks to penetrate, and dish. He dishes it out to Fraser, and Marceline with the hammer.
Well, that's what we saw last night, and he's just picking up right where he left off.
We saw Troy Plummer, a member of the NBCI Hawks last couple of years. He's now playing, of course, for the University of Manitoba Bison volleyball team, laughing in the background just at the amazing play there by Marceline. Solid basket by Chris Burgess. Leads cut to 8, 32-24 Openubi. Advances it to Harrison. Fakes the shot, pulls it out. Zeglin to Coe. Clippers will set up the half court. Zeglin inside. Marceline double teamed as Gooch sagged back on him. Zeglin to Harrison to Coe. 4 minutes into the third quarter, 8-point lead. Clippers ball inside Openubi, half spin off the square and down. Tosin has 21.
Well, and you can see how strong he goes up to the basket.
Openubi with 21. Marceline with 12, 33 of Kelvin's 34 points. 3-point attempt from the outside doesn't go. Marceline with the board.
Openubi, number 2 ranked player in the province, a complete player. I mean, he's actually very nice to watch.
Certainly is, and he's got the ball on the perimeter now. Gives it to Coe to Harrison. Harrison, he'll set up the offense, directing traffic there. Gives it to Zeglin. Zeglin against the Gooch. Goes back to Harrison. Thought about the 3. Up top, Coe. Works it around to Zeglin. Back to Coe. Coe scans the half court. Sees what the defense offers him. Works around the screen. Set by Harrison. Drives on Smith. Up top, Harrison. Zeglin inside Marceline. Puts it up. Really off balance. Jaime Fox wanted a foul. He doesn't know what he has to do to get a foul.
Well, he's not on the floor, so he probably won't get one.
He probably won't get one. Even if he was on the floor, they wouldn't give it to him, I'm sure. Again, Openubi Marceline, 35 of the 36 Kelvin points. Shot by Burgess doesn't go. Harrison fights for the board, and I believe there'll be a foul called against Casey Gooch, number 22. If it is, it'll be the Gooch's first. So the foul does indeed go against the Gooch. Back into the ball game, Jason Hucklack. He comes in for Chris Burgess. And John Taylor giving the full court press look here again. We'll wait till Smith ties his shoelace. We're ready to go. And there is Zeglin, gets the ball in. Openubi back to Zeglin, up ahead to Coe. Coe to Openubi. Openubi between the legs. Skips it back to Coe.
And Kelvin doing a good job of getting their way out of the press.
Harrison, left side. Zeglin to Coe. Coe took a long look. Goes down low for Zeglin. Ball's on the floor. Pipers come up with it. Gooch loses it to Zeglin. Clippers go back on offense. With 4 minutes even remaining in the third, they lead it 36-24. Zeglin, right corner, in trouble. Gets it inside to Marceline. Marceline up strong. He hits it. 16 for Reynolds. 37 of the 38 points have come from either Reynolds, Marceline, or Tosin Openubi. A powerful 1-2 combination.
That's where they have to continue to deny that pass into them and be ready to double team them. Marceline's already in foul trouble. That could force them into a little more trouble.
3-second violation called against John Taylor. 14-point lead for the Clippers. They'd like to try and extend it here. Ball's pushed ahead to Harrison.
One thing you'll also notice, Sean, on the scoreboard is the only 2 players that have any points, I believe, are the 2 Openubi and Marceline. So if they could double team them and try and deny them an opportunity to get that inside positioning, it's going to force their guards to have to take some shots, and that's something that we've yet to see so far by Kelvin.
Push down low against John Lundgren leads to his 4th foul, so he'll take a seat for a while. Yes, as mentioned, 37 of the 38 points have come from Marceline or Openubi. Openubi drives the paint, puts it up in traffic, it's short. Ball's rebounded by Bresden, who's back in the game. And up the floor, it's Fraser to Bresden. Steve Bresden. Casey Gooch, Gooch for 2. Full court pressure again by the Pipers. Zeglin up the floor to Harrison. They got to beat the 10 count. They do. Marceline left side. Gets it back to Harrison, to Coe. Works it around to Zeglin. Back to Coe. Harrison with it. Gets it into the high post. Marceline looked for Openubi in the low post. Harrison on the deck, traveled. Ball's pushed ahead. Bresden at the half court, guarded by Harrison. 22nd timeout called on the floor by John Taylor with 2:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Our score, the Kelvin Clippers 38, the John Taylor Pipers 26.
But you didn't call it right away. You waited till it was on the ground.
Because they're doing this, they're pushing it out, and then it's all over.
Deny the pass back to the 20.
Yes, we have to deny this pass and this pass. Yeah, we've got to deny these passes. This guy sags because they're not shooting. This guy sags. This guy and this guy deny those passes.
What they do is they try to reverse it to the other side when you sag. Take the reverse,
exactly.
You don't know what to do.
Okay,
Okay.
We got to pick it up. Hey,
They're
let's
not
cheat
gonna
on the
beat you
two
that
as well,
way.
right? Let's cheat on the 2 press.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, pipes.
Okay, let's go. Go. 3, 2, 1, coming.
Pipers back on the floor. Clippers just returning to play now. As mentioned, 12-point lead, 38-26. 2:28 to go. Grade 11 athlete Steve Bresden inbounds it to a fellow classmate, Devin Fraser, another grade 11. The Gooch goes in and just gets pinned.
Well, if you haven't seen the one-handed block shot, you just saw the 2-hand press right against the backboard. I don't know. I'm glad I'm sitting up here not playing against Marceline.
And back the other way, Marceline strokes the J after the in-your-mama's-face block at the other end.
Well, he certainly does make this game very exciting to watch.
Folks, you're really being treated to some great athleticism here on the part of Reynold Marceline.
Well, and that's something that he's really known for, is his defense and block shots.
Foul against John Taylor. Goes against number 4, Steve Bresden, his 2nd. That foul coming away from the play. Referee Dan Brown explaining to Bresden and Fraser the call. And we're ready to go. Sean Coe with the ball. Up ahead to Marceline. Marceline pushes it ahead. Smith with the interception. Good job by Jory.
Well, an example of his speed.
Bresden with the one-hand push doesn't go. Openubi with the board. And back down the floor for Kelvin. Sean Coe signals the play, enters the ball to Sean Kirby-Pelican, back in the ball game. Takes the 3, doesn't go. Williams with the save, gets it to Coe. He stepped out of bounds.
That's one of the few outside shots that we've actually seen by Kelvin. And there's just over a minute left in this 3rd quarter.
Fraser working against Coe. Gets it over to Gooch. Bounces it in. Chris Burgess going up against Kyle Williams. Shoots it off the side of the backboard. Ball's handed off to Coe. He protects it. Looks at the clock. He sees 45 seconds. He comes up the floor. The 2 number 5s, Coe and Smith. Half spin Zeglin. To Kirby-Pelican, back to Zeglin. And it looks like for the 3rd time this evening, the Clippers will wisely play for one. They've got a 14-point lead, and they'd like to extend it to 16. Coe with the ball to Sean Kirby-Pelican, 23 seconds now. Ball gets worked to Zeglin. 15 left on the clock. Again, they'll start it with about 10 or just under. Opanubi with the ball. Now 9 seconds, Opanubi starts his way in, pushes it across. Sean Kirby-Pelican takes the three, it's blocked. Saved on the end line by the Pipers. Long throw down the length of the court, just missed the basket. Our score after 3 quarters of play, the Kelvin Clippers 40, the John Taylor Pipers 26. When we come back, we will have the 4th and possibly deciding quarter here in this Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championship. Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear. Is that Larry Curley and Mo? No. Dan Brown, Reed Kenyon, and Greg Shapansky are 3 officials. As more Got Milk, Get gear goes flying up into the crowd here. Again, we'd like to thank Pat Bagara from the Manitoba Milk Producers Marketing Board for joining us this evening, and of course being a sponsor of high school athletics, the other half of education. Clippers will inbound at the half court. They lead it by 14, 40-26 as we enter the 4th quarter of play.
Well, Kelvin has led at the end of each of the quarters, but in that 3rd quarter, it's important to note that it was a much closer quarter. It was only 10-8. For Kelvin, so only a 2-point difference. So John Taylor really doing a much better job in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can put it together in the 4th.
Pipers will definitely have to go on a run if they want to get back in this one. The Clippers, of course, will continue to try and be patient on offense because it not only establishes some good looks and opportunities for them, but kills some clock, and that's something they'll be thinking about in the remaining 10 minutes as that ball is bounced into the low post and out of bounds. Up the floor, Devin Fraser with the ball, pushes it across to the Gooch. Up top, Smith, 3 ball, doesn't drop. Zeglin gets it to Coe. Kyle Williams almost threw the ball away. Sean Kirby-Pelican wasn't looking for the ball. Players a little antsy with each other there.
Well, when you've got some new players on the floor, sometimes that sort of breaks up that team harmony that you've had already. So players just have to be ready to communicate and pay attention. Kyle Williams came down with a very nice rebound.
Count the basket for Reynold Marceline. That'll put him at 20. And he's fouled on the play. He'll go to the line to complete the 3-point play.
Chris Burgess called on the foul. That'll be his 3rd foul.
Fairly well played, or a cleanly played game. It's only 5 team fouls, 2 the other way, and these teams have just come out and played basketball, haven't really got too much into the physical, roughness or anything of the game here.
That's right, Kelvin's doing a really good job tonight. They're certainly picking up where they left off last night. One thing to note is these 2 teams have met twice before, and John Taylor won both those games. So Kelvin looking for a little bit of revenge, and so far doing it tonight.
Sean Kirby-Pelican with the foul. His 2nd, team foul number 3 of the half. So as soon as we say they've been playing a fairly clean game, they start hacking each other.
Thing we should mention is Kelvin last night, being ranked number 4, defeated Dakota 74-42 in a game that really wasn't close. Kelvin dominated right from the start. And in the other semifinal, John Taylor, number 7, beat Tech Bach 80-72 in what was a very close game.
A very good game, and congratulations to Greg Bouchard and his Tech Bach Hornets on a fantastic season. Opanubi returning to the play, as is John Lundgren.
Opanubi.
Trevor Greer, our public address announcer, having a lot of fun with these names here tonight. He's done some great games in the past, of course, at the Fidget Tournament, as well as some high school hockey. And full court pressure being applied now by the Pipers. Long pass down the floor to Sean Coe. He goes up, easy layup, his first basket of the night. With the exception of Sean Kirby-Pelican's free throw, that's the first points to come from someone other than Marceline or Openubi.
That's right, and that was one of the first times Kelvin's really broke the press well tonight. They did that very well last night, which is how Openubi got most of his shots. But tonight, John Taylor doing a really good job with the press. Now, if it starts not working for them, one thing you have to do is make some adjustments.
Right now it is working. They force a traveling violation against AJ Zeglin after Doug Gooch hit the 3-ball. So Sean Kirby-Pelican comes out, Daniel Harrison back in. 45-32 the score. Kelvin leads it. 8:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lundgren trying to get it to Burgess. He does. Burgess down low. Back to Smith. Smith penetrates, tries to dish it off. Ball's on the deck. We're going to have a jump ball called. And on the alternating possession, the Pipers will hang on to it.
Well, with the two big guys inside, we're getting an opportunity to see this replay. Smith just loses control of the ball. We're seeing players fight for it, and the jump ball is called. John Taylor will maintain possession. I was going to say, with the two big guys inside, Openubi and Marceline, very good defense on their part. So if the ball's not able to get inside, what you could do is drive and then dish it outside for that outside shot, and that's where Lundgren and Smith can be extremely fatal.
Lundgren goes in amongst the trees and gets smoked, commits the travel. Ball will go over to the Clippers. They maintain a 13-point lead. As mentioned, Openubi and Marceline, 21 points each, 42 of the 45. Breakaway pass again for Coe. Goes to Marceline, tries to jam and misses it. And Jaime Fox is beside himself. He wanted the two sure points, not the show. And back the other way is Lundgren. He gets the deuce, cuts the lead to 11.
Well, I'm not sure if Burgess got a little piece of that or just enough to throw him off the shot.
Openubi breaks the pressure by Burgess, kicks the ball ahead. Casey Gooch comes up with it. Jaime Fox wants a timeout. Next time, Kelvin gets the ball. 7:18 to go. It's an 11-point lead. Clippers, Pipers fighting their way back in. Jump step, kicked out. Smith, jump change. Ball's rebounded by Openubi underneath. He calls timeout. The Clippers up by 11, but the Pipers are fighting back. Let's listen.
Go, sit, guys. Sit. Sit. Don't leave the shooters, Don't leave the shooters. Don't leave the shooters on the post entrance. Let's relax, guys? Let's relax. This time down. This time, watch. Enter the ball once we break the pressure. Sean, Tosin, this side. Reynolds, this side. Daniel, AJ. Okay? Sean Cole, Tosin, here, then here. All right? Here, Reynolds, strong middle. Strong. Don't get it, they're gone. Tosin, gone. Okay? Relax. Guys, hedge the screen. Particularly the guys that we really want to check, 5 and 22. Wait on that. Jump switch it. Jump switch it. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Jaime Fox did some good coaching in that timeout, not only giving instructions about what they need to do on the play, the offensive end, but also, more importantly, telling his guys a number of times just to relax, settle down, and play calm against this pressure and not get caught up in the hype of the press.
That's right. It's no time to panic right now. His team's pretty much being in control the majority of the game, but John Taylor is doing a good job of putting some pressure on right now.
Sean Coe, left side, gets to Zeglin. Coe sets up the offense. We'll see if they can run it the way the coach told them in the timeout. Openubi drives. Foul against number 41, Chris Burgess, I believe. It'll be his fourth as we get a look at Openubi on the drive.
That's right, we're going to see him go for the drive right here, and Burgess pushing off, getting called on his fourth foul. So now John Taylor with two players at 4 fouls, Chris Burgess as well as John Lundgren.
That foul, of course, coming before the attempt. Marceline with the shot. That foul, I believe, will go against Bresden.
And that'll be his third foul.
Yes, it is Bresden. So 3 against him. Marceline at the line to shoot 2 already with 21 points, as we've mentioned. Opanubi as well with 21. Marceline, good arc on the free throw. He hits the first. Again, you see some of the standing room only crowd here at the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. And the Kelvin Crazies wishing the swoosh on. They get it. Oh, Marceline goes 2 for 2 from the line. Lead is 13. Ball gets entered left side. Smith up top. Lundgren. Lundgren penetrates from the elbow. He knocks down the deuce.
Well, that's what John Taylor needs to do. It's going to be hard getting the inside positioning with the two big guys, so they got to shoot from the outside. And there we get a steal by Burgess. Smith goes up.
Hits the basket. Leads cut to 9. Marceline up the floor. And we'll have a reach called against Jory Smith.
Well, that'll only be his first foul. And Burgess was lucky that he didn't get called for his 5th foul.
So the bonus now in effect for Kelvin. Marceline at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. 9-point lead, 47-38 for Kelvin. Marceline trying to extend that. Misses the first. Burgess with the board. Bresden down the floor to Smith. Lundgren from the junction, off the square, doesn't go. Burgess, good follow. Oh, nice block by Marceline. Missy, he had to come from a far way away to make that play.
Well, that's something we've seen him do tonight and last night, is helping out.
Ball's pushed ahead to Marceline. Up top, Harrison to Coe. 5:30 to go even now. Here in the fourth, Coe works off the screen set by Opanubi, gives it to him. Thinks about it, gives it up to Coe. Harrison and Coe, great backcourt tandem here for the Clippers. Both can handle the ball, both can set up the offense. Good defense by the Pipers here, trying to prevent the Clippers from getting anything inside. So Kelvin continues to work it on the perimeter. 5 minutes even now remaining in the fourth quarter. Harrison drives, puts up the baby hook, it falls, and he's fouled. Harrison hits the deuce, his first of the night. There you see him protecting the ball with a baby hook, all of the pros, and he draws the foul.
Well, and they called that against number 4, Steve Bresden. That'll also be his 4th foul, so they've got 3 players now sitting at 4 fouls.
So the Pipers in a bit of foul trouble. Harrison hits it, so the 3-point play, his first 3 of the night. And that comes at a crucial time. It's 50-38 Kelvin. We have a timeout called to the floor by the John Taylor Pipers. Our score with 4:53 to go. The Kelvin Clippers 50, the John Taylor Pipers 38.
Again, all they're doing, right, they're just weaving it around here. That's all they're doing is weaving it around here. Let's send, okay? We got here, we're P for Pipers, right? Here, here, and here. Let's send it on the 3 guards. As they send a guy out in the wing, let's double that, okay? Let's get the closest guy to double. The weak side guy just kind of hang around to rotate.
Rotate, look,
okay?
steal the soft pass back.
All right, we've got to double. We've got it just like that 3 press, almost like the 3 press when we get the trap and this guy kind of hangs around here, because all they're doing is weaving.
Don't
and
leave,
we can't afford to weave.
Double up, Reynolds or Tulsi. Stick with those 2 guys, double off the guard.
Okay, we've got to trap that. We've got to trap that, start getting aggressive. Trace the ball, though. If it's you, trace the ball. Don't reach in. Trace the ball. Let's go, guys. Let's suck it up now. Come on.
Let's go, guys.
3, 2, 1, fight.
Some of the fans enjoying this one here at the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. Missy, despite being down by 12, the Pipers so far have done well this quarter.
Well, there's no question. They've actually outscored Kelvin 12-10. So they are definitely in this game. If they could keep putting a little bit of pressure on, creating some turnovers and getting some outside shots, they're right back in this game, and there's still lots of time on the clock.
At some point in the remaining 4:50 and counting now, they've got to think about hitting the threes, because Smith certainly can do that, as can Lundgren.
That's right. They're going to start taking some chances here and just taking some fast shots.
Don't forget the Gooch. Casey Gooch can do it as well. There's a travel on the play. Ball will go back over to Kelvin. Ball goes into Harrison. Harrison to Coe. Coe gives it to Zeglin. Zeglin drives in the paint, kicks it out. Marceline pulls up from 12 and hits it. 25 points now for Reynold Marceline. 4:10 to go.
Well, last night we saw him predominantly just playing a lot of defense, but tonight definitely doing the job on offense. And right now with the steal and going right to the hoop was Daniel Harrison.
Harrison now with 5 on the night. Big lead of 16 points right now for the Clippers. 3:52 to go. Smith, three-point attempt doesn't fall. Marceline with the rebound, gives it to Coe. Coe to Harrison to Openubi. Picks up his dribble, double team, finds Coe. 10-second count called. Good pressure by the Pipers. We should remind you that tomorrow night, Sunday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., we have 3 games on Shaw. It's the Indoor World Cup 1999 from the Soccer Spectrum live with our friends Joe Nichita, Fabio Capone, and of course the one and only, the infamous Gerald Olin.
One of my former students, Gerald Olin.
He survived nonetheless.
That's right. And if we say World Cup soccer too loud on TV, my dog's going to hear it, and he loves playing World Cup soccer.
He certainly does, and I've been witness to that. That's tomorrow night, Sunday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., 3 games live on Shaw. So we see a foul on the play. And I believe they're going to call this on Openubi. No, they're going to call it on Zeglin for the illegal screen. Here you see the replay.
Well, we're seeing the screen come in right now. Moving screen gets called on the foul. So John Taylor to inbound the ball.
I'd like to mention another one of your former students who's watching tonight, Rob Berkowitz of the Winnipeg Cyclone, the general manager, watching from his home, enjoying the broadcast. Rob, glad you're enjoying this one here on Shaw. Smith pulls up from 16, doesn't go off the plate. Openubi with the board, gives it to Coe. 2:48 to go. Coe down the floor is fouled by Smith. I believe that'll be Smith's second.
That's right, it is his second foul. He got called on the reach-in.
And in the bonus situation, I believe this should make it 10 fouls.
That's right, it might be 10 team fouls. It's not up on the scoreboard. Now it is, so they will be shooting 2 now. At the line is Sean Coe.
In, out, out.
That ball just can't make a decision.
So Coe with his second attempt here. Hits that one. Lead is extended to 17, 55-38 with 2:45 to go. The Clippers in control now here in the fourth.
So they got to start moving this ball very quickly and taking some fast shots, get some points on the board quickly.
Lundgren in the paint, puts it up, hits it. There's one of the quick baskets you were talking about.
Bit of pressure being put on by John Taylor.
Ball's almost stolen by Breston. Harrison saves it. Gets it ahead to Openubi. Openubi driving, gets it back to Marceline from the elbow, doesn't go. Ball's batted around, rebounded by Burgess. An update in the World Curling Tour. Madaw victorious 10-5 over Stoughton tonight at the Max Bell Center. That sets up a Wayne Madaw Russ Howard battle tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. also at the Max Bell Center.
There we saw Gooch with the outside shot, unfortunately did not fall in, and Kelvin coming down with the rebound. 1:47 left in this provincial championship game. There's a charge, I believe, being called on Openubi.
Openubi called on the charge. So in tomorrow's final of the World Curling Tour, Wayne Madaw taking on Russ Howard next door here at the Max Bell Center, 10:30 a.m. Madaw victorious 10-5 over Stoughton just moments ago. Thank you to our correspondent, Ken Bertholet, for bringing us that information.
And we just saw the replay there where the foul was and the charge was called against Openubi.
Basket hit there by the Pipers, cuts the lead to 13. It's 55-42, 1:29 to go. Zeglin up the floor, head to Harrison. Harrison fouled by Smith. That'll be his third. Again, 2-shot bonus here for the Clippers, so fouls certainly working in Kelvin's favor right now. Missy, if they can just keep hitting these, they're going to win the provincial championship.
That's right. They're the ones leading on the scoreboard. John Taylor needs to stop the clock, so they will have to get some fast, fouls here, and that's going to put Kelvin at the line shooting 2. Should mention that I don't think Kelvin's won the provincial championship before. They've had a number of very strong teams that have made it to the provincial championships, but have never actually won the crown.
I don't believe they have either, and I know some people have been saying, this could be Jaime Fox's year as a coach to win it, and he certainly looks like he could do it now with 1:17 to go in the game. His team up by 15, 57-42.
Well, sitting here right now when you've got 2 players like Opanubi and Marceline, you almost wonder how can you not do it with those quality players.
That's certainly the case. And after that very impressive 32-point victory over the #1 ranked Dakota Lancers last night, they certainly looked like they were the real deal. Harrison now up the floor. Pushes it ahead, Opanubi. Gives it back to Coe, who will set it up. We've got less than a minute to go here now in the fourth. 57-42. Clippers again will play for 1, or they'll just play to run out the clock. I'm sure the Pipers will try and foul as soon as they can here. Harrison, Zeglin.
Now they're just trying to run some time off the clock here, and it's going to be hard to make up this deficit. Looks like they're not really looking to foul right now.
Ball almost stolen. Zeglin with the save. 30 seconds now to go. Some of the names of the provincial 4A boys champions: Harrison, Marceline, Opanubi, Coe, and Zeglin. The 5 Clippers on the floor. Congratulations to the Kelvin Clippers on a fantastic season. They will win the provincial 4A boys high school basketball championship.
Sorry, Sean. They're not looking to do any more damage. Just run out the clock, and sure enough, 57-42, Kelvin wins.
The Kelvin Clippers are the 1999 Provincial 4A High School Boys Basketball Champions. The players have filed out onto the court, and what's really nice to see is people like David Texera and some of the other former Clippers coming over to congratulate Jaime Fox right away. And it's nice to see that some of the former players who never got a chance to win one come back and congratulate their former coach.
See how many points number 5 got?
Well, that in itself shows a lot of school spirit.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have the presentations of the banners, the medals, and all the hardware. You're watching the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships here on Shaw. Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear. Yep. Welcome back to Shaw's coverage of the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships. They've just announced that Reynold Marceline has been the player of the game for Kelvin. They will announce the John Taylor winner in a minute, and I believe it's time to go down to our public address announcer, Trevor Greer. Trevor?
Once again, your
Provincial Player of the Game Awards for the John Taylor Pipers, number 5, Jory Smith, and for the Kelvin Clippers, number 22, Reynold Marceline. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the awards presentation for the 1999 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships. We'd like to congratulate both teams for an exciting performance. Let's hear it one more time for both teams. We would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors, Manitoba Milk Producers, who are the major sponsors for this event, as well as McDonald's of Manitoba, Converse Shoes, Wilson Sports, and Sport Manitoba. We'd like to welcome our awards presenters. They are Jane Edstrom from the Manitoba High School Athletics Association Board of Directors and Pat Bugera-Krawchuk from the Manitoba Milk Producers. Also, Randy Cunnington from the McDonald's Restaurants. At this point, we ask that the captains of the John Taylor Pipers come forward to accept the Manitoba High School Athletics Association finalist banner. And now we ask that the individual players come forward. Number 3, Devin Fraser. Number 4, Steve Bresden. Number 5, Jory Smith. Number 12, Ishmael Natej. Number 14, Kyle Tom. Number 15, Craig Hayward. Number 20, John Lundgren. Number 21, Mitch DePeaser. Number 22, Casey Gooch. Number 23, Joey Huffman. Number 28, Oscar Romero. Number 33, Chris Robinson. Number 40, Jason Hucklack. Number 41, Chris Burgess. Coaching staff for the John Taylor Pipers, manager Dee Dee Logan, and assistant coach Scott Kirkpatrick, and head coach Chris Chartier. Ladies and gentlemen, your Manitoba High School Athletics Association 4A finalists in the boys basketball division, the John Taylor Pipers. At this point, we ask that the captains of the Kelvin Clippers come forward to accept the championship banner and trophy. We also ask now that the players individually come up to accept the championship t-shirts and championship medallions for the Clippers. Number 3, Daniel Harrison. Number 4, Mike Tran. Number 5, Sean Cole. Number 10, Sean Kirby Pelican. Number 11, AJ Zeglin. Number 12, Carl Zadnik. Number 14, Sean Armstrong. Number 20, Ryan Mackin. Number 21, Tosin Opanubi. Number 22, Reynold Marceline. Number 23, Kyle Williams. Number 12, Michael Miji. Ladies and gentlemen, your Manitoba High School Athletics Association 4A boys basketball champions, the Kelvin Clippers. The coaching staff for the Clippers, managers Leif Bankston and Mitch Momchloff, and the coaches, assistant coach Art Bryant and head coach Jaime Fox. Manitoba High School Athletics Association would also like to acknowledge this year's 4A High School All-Star team. Before this selection is announced, we would also like to take this opportunity to recognize this year's Manitoba Milk Producers Players' Choice Award, as is selected by athletes participating in this year's Final Four. Presenting the award is Pat Bugera, Krawchuk, and Nikki Rue of the selection committee. And they have chosen from the Kelvin Clippers, number 21, Tosin Opanubi. And now we will announce the All-Star selections. Each All-Star receiving a Manitoba High School Athletics Association All-Star certificate. This year's All-Stars, from the Tekvok Hornets, number 12, Chris Williams. Chris is in the house. He's making his way down. From the John Taylor Pipers, number 22, Casey Gooch. From the Kelvin Clippers, defensive specialist, number 5, Sean Cole. From the John Taylor Pipers, number 5, Jory Smith. We apologize, Sean Cole plays for Kelvin. And also number 22, from the Kelvin Clippers, Reynold Marceline. This year's Most Valuable Player will receive a Manitoba High School Athletics Association MVP certificate. The 1999 4A Provincial High School Basketball Championships Most Valuable Player from the Kelvin Clippers, number 21, Tosin Opanubi.
There you have our all-star team, as well as the most valuable player to this Provincial 4A High School Boys Basketball Tournament. We'd like to thank our public address announcer, Trevor Greer, for making those announcements. We will take a short break here on Shaw. When we come back, our man in the pit, Chuck Clement, will have some interviews with some of the winning players and coaches here from the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletic Center. You're watching the Provincial 4A High School Basketball Championships live on Shaw. Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear. Welcome back to Shaw's coverage of high school sports. The Provincial 4A basketball championships have concluded, but we're not done yet until we get some interviews. And our man doing all those interviews is Chuck Clement, who has an interview with our MVB, Tosin Openubi. Take it away, Chuck.
Thank you very much, Sean. I am joined right now at courtside by two very happy gentlemen, Tosin Openubi and his head coach from Kelvin, Jaime Fox. Gentlemen, congratulations on a wonderful victory. Gosh, what I would do for a stepladder right now. Tosin, congratulations, wonderful game. Tell us your thoughts. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels really good. It feels great. I always wanted to win another provincial since grade 10, and I'm really happy to win one today, right now.
What was your coach's game plan today? What was the strategy against John Taylor?
Just go and play. Have fun and play your best. Just leave it all on the court. And we did that. For sure.
I'm thinking we haven't seen the last of Tosin Openubi. What comes next in the future for you?
I hope to go. I want to go play somewhere at university, somewhere in Canada, in the States. I really like that.
Well, congratulations, Tosin. You made a lot of people rise out of their seats tonight. Job well done. Coach Fox, wonderful effort by your team tonight. After upsetting the #1 seed Dakota last night, this looked like a team of yours that was on a mission.
I don't think we like to think of it as an upset yesterday. We'd never played them before, and we knew that yesterday that our mismatches were pretty severe if we could get them into it, and which we did, and so we won the game that way. But today we just played hard. We just said, let's guard the shooters. They have 3 really good shooters, and we said, let's guard the shooters. Stay home on your check. Don't help out. Let Reynolds take care of the basket, which I think he did fairly well. And just guard the shooters, and just make them work hard for a basket. They scored 42 points, and boy, they were tough points. Those points were hard points.
Tosin and Reynolds were obviously a big difference for you guys.
That's all year. Obviously, those two are our guys. They're our go-to guys. It doesn't really matter which one. First half was Tosin, second half was Reynolds. But as long as they give you 100% every time, the other guys, they're so unselfish that they just say, hey, we'll give ourselves up because we know if we give it to them, we'll win. Bottom line, we'll win. And they just gave it up, and we won. I mean, that was really what it was all year.
Congratulations, Coach Fox. Your team displayed wonderful sportsmanship and great ability tonight, and we hope that you enjoy this one.
Thanks very much.
Coach Jaime Fox, the head coach of the Kelvin Clippers, the 1999 provincial champions on the boys' side. We are going to wrap things up here from the University of Manitoba. Stick around. We're back to the IG Center right after this break.
Welcome back to the University of Manitoba's Investors Group Athletics Center. We are live here at courtside. The Kelvin Clippers victorious in the boys game over the John Taylor Pipers. They are the Provincial 4A High School Boys Champions. Chuck Clement, some of your final thoughts here on this great tournament we've witnessed all week.
What great action. I can't get over how every year things just keep getting bigger and better. As Kerry Lasuk said, high school sports are booming. We saw tonight some wonderful performances. Oak Park with a great win on the girls' side. St. Mary's, watch for them in the future. They're a great young team. Same thing on the boys' side. Kelvin did a great job. And John Taylor, not Tech Bach, as I mentioned earlier, John Taylor, another great young team to watch. I think the future of basketball in high school is a very bright one for this province.
Okay, and Missy, some of your final thoughts on our action here this evening in the season that we've witnessed.
Well, very similar thoughts. I think the girls' game was very good, very close, could have gone either way, number one team winning. And really, I don't think there was a surprise in the boys' final, including the fact that Kelvin was in the final. I don't think it was a real upset with them beating Dakota. I think they just have the players and the athletes there.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure for us to bring you this high school action all year, right from the volleyball through to the basketball here. On behalf of my partners tonight, Chuck Clement and Missy Penner and the whole Shaw Sports team, we'd like to thank you for watching our high school sports throughout the year. And to my good friend Missy Penner, good luck at becoming a mom in May.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you on behalf of our entire Shaw Sports team. We'll see you next year with more high school sports. Good night. Tonight's basketball action brought to you by Got Milk, Get Gear.